Morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsy69. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be having a look at the KV5. Yes, the KV5 got buffed. It got buffed, and I didn't think the buff would actually do it much good. The KV5 has always been, for me, a boring tank because of how much weak points is on the tank. Now, on the front of the tank is literally, there's some armor, but a lot of it is all weak points. There's loads of weak points, but Wargaming buffed it the previous update, and wow, like, this tank is surprisingly very, very good. Now, I would always recommend the KV4 over the KV5. It has less weak points, and for me it's just the stronger tank. But now the KV5 just wipes all over the KV4. It was a much needed buff. It really was a much needed buff, and the only downfall with the KV5 I feel is the penetration. It feels that it can't really penetrate too many tanks, and you bounce in a lot of tanks. I mean, that was a troll shot. So we're going to have two battles here from Jimpa from the north. He kindly supplied me with some replays. He done very well, and I did go and play it on my own. I had a few battles on my own. I had a few decent games, but I feel using these two replays will show you more how to use the KV5 and how to be effective in the KV5 if you was going to go and buy the KV5 when it comes for sale. Because when it does come for sale, it does actually come for quite cheap, around sort of the 5k gold mark, sometimes even a little bit cheaper than that. So now, if it does come for 5k gold, I would always never sort of recommend the tank. I'd say, yeah, it's cheap, but to be honest, it's not worth buying. Now, if it comes for 5k gold, 100% I would recommend this tank. Now, Jimpa so far has bounced 1100 damage. Also, the art for this tank is side scraping. This is very, very good for side scraping. And now, even sort of not hold down, you're not going to bounce everything that comes your way. You got to remember that, but you're going to bounce a lot of shots, and angling, side scraping is the way to go when you're playing the KV5. The same as the KV4 as well. You need to side scrape in the KV4. Even reverse side scraping, like just hide your rear. The turrets are pretty strong, like even from behind and the rear side, sorry, it's still pretty strong. So 1500 block damage at the moment. It is a 3 versus 5. He gets another bounce, takes out the Emil, and it is now a 3 versus 4. So he's just going to go and help his object 252U to deal with this this Tiger 2. Now the Tiger 2 is going for the object 252, and it's now all of a sudden it's a 2 versus 4. So a lot of work to do, but they are about to take care of this Tiger 2. It destroys his ammo there. He does repair it, but the object 252 is a one shot. And now I was hoping that Jimpa would actually sit in front of him, but he doesn't need to. He wants to save his hit points. So they are winning on supremacy points, and it's now a 2 versus 3. 2 versus 3, it's easily doable. Now, you don't really want to come out sideways in the KV5. That's pretty much your weakest point. You could still bounce shots, to be honest. Even sideways in this tank, you can still bounce. You can bounce anywhere, and that's the best thing about this tank. You can literally bounce anywhere on your tank, as long as you're playing it right. You will get some bounces. You can't. Before the buff, you couldn't really rely on the bounces on the armor profile, but now definitely 100% you can rely on that armor. You can bounce a lot, like here, 2400 block damage, and ultimately that has won them the game. That block damage that he's done has won him the game. Not even talking about the 4.3k damage that he's currently done. There's still a full hit point Emil here, but the Emil is yeah, it's not got much armor. He's now a 2-shot, so if he comes up even from the side of him here, he should easily be able to clear this guy easily. But they are winning on supremacy points, so there's no rush, but he is going to rush in. He wants the more damage, and he is going to get a shot there into the lower plate, and again he gets another bounce. So that's now 2900 blocked damage. This guy's a one shot, and he will easily be able to take him out for the win. So that's 5 kills, nearly 3k block damage. Sometimes you used to be able to do it on the odd occasion, but now it's very simple. It's very simple to be able to block that much damage. And Jimpa literally has showcased easily how it's done. Not once, but he's going to do it twice. So he sent me 2 replays. This time we are on Dead Rail. It's a nice tank. It is a very nice tank now, and I didn't really enjoy playing it because it's not a tank that I thoroughly enjoy, but at least now I would recommend it if it does come for sale. And I think it was a much needed buff, to be honest. It was a meh tank, a very meh tank. Now, I've done a few 5k damage battles in the tank, but that's only when you sort of get really lucky. You can't always do that much damage. As I've said, the penetration for me is the only downfall about this tank now. Now it's got the armor profile. You can't if it had the penetration, then yeah, and it had the armor profile, then it'll probably be way too strong. So we're going to watch this game here, and hopefully after these 2 games, if this tank does come for sale, it will help you make up your mind whether you want this tank or not. So straight away, 300 block damage, 600 block damage from these guys, and he's playing front line. He's playing very, very aggressive here in front of 2 tanks. We know that there is a tank destroyer there because he's bounced, and yet again, straight away within a minute of the game, he's already bounced 900 damage from these guys. Now he's going to leave the 45 TP there, because he's a one-shot. He's going to leave his teammate to deal with him, and again from the 53 TP gets yet again another bounce. So that's 1100 block damage with just a minute and 10 seconds on the clock. And now there's 1 tank down. This guy's now a one-shot, and it's going to be very easy to deal with him from the VK. No, yeah, the VK 168 takes him out, and all of a sudden it's a 7 versus 2. 1600 damage on top of the 1100 block damage, and now this T28 over here should be isolated on his own, and there's really not going to be much he can do. But even aiming, look, another bounce there. Everyone is just bouncing this guy, and it's good to see. It really is good to see, because it's not overpriced, it's not overpowered either. It's just a very, very strong tank. It can be easily dealt with if you take the time in aiming, but you now need to take that time in aiming, where before you could just look at the tank and shoot, and you'll be able to penetrate it. So 1700 damage, a few nice HE shots into these guys, the T28 and into the SP1C, and it's an easy win already. 3.1k damage, and he has easily done that on top of the 1700 blocked damage. So have you guys got into a battle? Now I wasn't even going to make the video on the KV5, but I went to play it, and luckily Jim sent me the replays sort of as I was playing it, so it's perfect timing really. And the only reason I started playing it and wanted to make the video is because I come up against a few of these in game, and I've actually come up a few in ratings battles as well, and I was just like, why are you driving the KV5 in ratings games? Surely this isn't a great tank to play. But when I come up against it and sort of aimed at it, looked at the armor profile, I was very surprised, very, very surprised just how good this armor profile is now. And they've ironed out a lot of the weak points. So there's only a couple of weak points that you can penetrate. You can penetrate, but you just need to take that time now in aiming, and you will be able to do it. But the KV5 has got a pretty good reload as well. So yeah, it's a slow tank. It is a slow tank, but again, you've got the armor profile now. I don't mind when it has one of them, either gun depression, armor, or DPM, anything like that, or speed. It's got to have one of them. And before, this didn't have anything really going for it. It had a little bit of armor, but again, nothing you can really rely on. And now at least it's got the armor profile so it doesn't matter if it goes slow. Is he going to get a bounce here? I mean, this T49, no, he isn't going to get a bounce, but at this point it's a 4 versus 2. There goes the T49, and it's just this SP1C who will be dealt with. So this game, 2400 blocked damage, and he ends again on over 5k damage. Nice and comfortable, and very, very reliable. Now, he had 10 shots non-penetrated that round. 10. He had 15 players shoot him, and only 5 of them penned. Now, that is good. That is very, very, very good indeed. So if this tank does come for sale, guys, 100% I would recommend it. It does come for very cheap when it does come, and now the buff was much, much needed. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think this was a needed buff, or do you think now it's sort of overpowered? Will you buy it if you've got the money? let me know in the comments below. I'll look forward to reading them, see your opinions. So hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I'm meadsy69, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye bye. With